66 through Haymarket, Centerville, and Fairfax, you're looking okay. 95 north and southbound is still running very smoothly in that mixing bowl. The Beltway overall is just okay. You will find some issues, though, heading over the Woodrow Wilson Bridge, also the American Legion.
All right, Shanika, thank you. Your time right now is 7:18. This morning, colon cancer, some are calling it the silent killer. And according to the CDC, it is the third most common type of cancer diagnosed right here in the U.S. Joining us this morning, though, to talk about the disease is Dr. Ada Graham, a colon surgeon at Johns Hopkins Medicine. We also have Dr. Joseph Jennings, who is joining us virtually, and he's a gastroenterologist with MedStar Georgetown University Hospital. Thank you both for being here this morning.
Thank you for having us.
So, Dr. Graham, I want to start with you first. This is obviously a big topic coming on the heels of the unexpected death of Kirstie Alley, the actress. You also just mentioned Chadwick Boseman as well. What is colon cancer?
So colon cancer is a colon that arises from the lining of the colon, which is why we recommend colonoscopy starting at age 45 to catch it early.
And in terms of the symptoms, the signs, Dr. Jennings, I want to ask you this question. What should people be looking out for, and who is typically affected?
The sad part is there's not always signs in the early stages of cancer, which is why we advocate for screening, which is getting checked out in the absence of signs or symptoms. Some of the symptoms that can be associated with colon cancer, though, are blood in the stool, changes in your bowel habits, things that are sort of outside the normal on a consistent basis that would make you go and talk to your doctor.
Got it. And once you talk to your doctor and you have that testing, that screening done, and something is found, you do a lot of the surgeries on people who are having some of the testing, or is it, I guess, polyps?
Yeah, so if someone is found to have polyps, they're normally able to be removed during the colonoscopy itself, saving them needing to have a larger surgery to have that part of the colon removed. If we do find cancer on a colonoscopy, then we tend to do a minimally invasive surgery where we take out the part of the colon where the cancer is and hook those parts back together, and people are normally able to be out of the hospital in about 2 days.
And for people who don't know, what is the colon really used for?
So the colon does a couple of things. It's the last part of your gastrointestinal system, and it takes a lot of the water out of the system so that you're able to have formed bowel movements at the end.
Got it. And Dr. Jennings, often with these illnesses, there are sometimes misconceptions. What is your message to someone who is on the fence about getting the testing done, or someone who just does not think it's that serious at all?
My biggest advice to them would be that the test is very easy and straightforward, and it could save your life. So even if you don't have a family history, you have no symptoms, but you're 45 or 40 and a family history of colon cancer somewhere in your family tree, we have a test that could find it before, when it's in the form of a polyp, before it ever becomes cancer, or when it's really, really early, where something like surgery can be completely curative. And the best part about this type of screening test, colonoscopy that is mainly, it's something that if you get it done once, you can go years before having to do it again, depending on what we find.
Got it. And is the colonoscopy the only sort of test that someone can get, or are there other options if they don't want to have that done?
Of course. So colonoscopy is our best available test, but there are stool-based tests that are done more frequently, like annually, as well as combinations between stool-based tests, virtual colonoscopies, as well as stool-based tests with shorter colonoscopies, all done on various intervals. So even if one test doesn't sound right for you, with talking with a gastroenterologist or your primary care doctor, we can find a test that works for you to help you get screened.
Got it. And obviously, I know you mentioned that some of the symptoms and signs, they're not always there, but just for anyone watching right now, there are some things that you can look out for. If you take a look at this graphic, one is blood in stool, the other stomach pain or bloating. There's also unexplained weight loss, vomiting, and then fatigue or shortness of breath. So just a couple things, or a few things rather, that you could look out for that could potentially lead to a diagnosis that would be better early detected.
Yes, the survival, if we're caught early before it spread to the lymph nodes, is 90% at 5 years. At lymph nodes, it's about 70, whereas if we catch it late when it's already spread to another organ, that survival rate drops down to about only 15%. So that's why screening colonoscopies and checking early is so important, because we can catch this when it's curable.
All right, early detection is key. Dr. Jennings, thank you so much. Dr. Graham, also thank you so much. We appreciate it. Hopefully this saves someone's life if they're watching. All right, Joseph, take it over.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to save my life. I got